everybody! Woo. All right.
Welcome to the Bowls Tabletop Hour. I'm Adam Harry.
I'm Larry Bella, and we have very special. Look at it.
We have Blackstone Fortress.
We have Blackstone Fortress. It's in the house. It is in front of us. It is sitting right here.
Yes.
I spent 6 hours,
Man,
assembling all of these miniatures. I thought it was going to go really fast. I was like, man, this is going to be so cool.
There's a lot of miniatures.
There's a lot. There's a whole lot. Assembling all the hero guys, they were fast.
Yeah, because they're snap fit.
It was the bad guys.
It was just a lot.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. So today we are going to be taking questions about Blackstone Fortress.
We want all of your questions. We want all your feedback. We're here for you guys. We're going to spend a whole hour going over the game, talking about what we think about it, talking about the miniatures, talking about the rules, and we want to hear from you guys. So anything you want, we have it. It's right here. Ask us questions. Get them in the chat. So
I have questions for you since you did build the models.
I did.
So
I built them.
Putting together the heroes were fairly simple, right? Because those were peg.
No, they work the same way. They're just as complicated. It's just that there's 9 of them.
Yeah, okay.
So every time. I mean, in general, the hero models are more complex than the chaos models, but they in general have between. I think the simplest one has like 3 parts, and the most complicated one has 6.
Okay, that's not too bad.
But it's that they function. So first of all of these models are designed to be press fit, which is really impressive.
Okay.
So in theory, you don't need glue. All right.
In theory,
because you are not a layperson off the street, you should use glue.
You should use
glue.
I would recommend modeling glue.
Yes, use model glue. Do not use super glue. Yeah. Use model glue. You're never ever. These models are not in any way like modular or changeable. Yeah. So use model glue on them. Polystyrene glue. Mm-hmm. And
because once you build them and assemble them, they're locked.
And lots of them have very little tiny joins on certain pieces. So you really want model glue rather than super glue. Right, obviously, really quick. I know you all know this, but I'm just going to give you the little 15-second primer for people who don't know. Big primary difference. Super glue. Is basically a third object. So super glue takes your 2 objects and then it forms a third object between them and is holding them together using its own strength. Yeah. Model glue is actually polystyrene solvent. It actually welds the 2 pieces together so that when they're done, it is one piece. So
it essentially melts the 2 contact points and then kind of fuses them together as one.
Yes. So. There's a whole lot of chemistry and polymers and whatever. But
so if you want your models to break eventually, you can use super glue.
That's correct.
But if you're doing plastic to plastic contact and you never want to take that model apart for whatever reason,
if you're looking for maximum strength and they're never going to come apart, you don't want them to come apart. Model glue is the way to go.
Now you probably know this too. Model glue does not work on metals
or resin or in any way. It specifically is just designed to work on the types of plastic that scale modelers.
So you used modeling glue to put these guys together. Was there any models in here that you put together that kind of surprised you?
Yes.
Just in general?
The Eldar Ranger was particularly interesting because she is super complicated visually, but had a tiny number of parts.
Really?
So one of her parts, she has basically body front, body back, and then the really interesting part about her is that she has one really... can we go to the overhead parts? Mm-hmm. And so I can show them here.
Yeah.
For you guys. Check this out. All right, so we have right over here.
I will find you.
What we have is there is this one crazy part that is the gun. There we go. Let me flip that over so you guys can see it. Flip it over the other way. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So there is this entire gun, this loop around thing, the backpack, these little wavy bits, and then like all the way over to the arm and that sword is like one piece.
It's all one piece.
This is one super crazy swoopy thing.
Wow.
So when you build the Ranger, there's basically all of her cape and her back body.
Yeah.
Then she has a second piece that's her face and the front of her torso, and that goes on the front, and then all of this crazy stuff on the back is just one piece, so it just slides on.
Wow.
And it's like nuts.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
So that one was really, really neat.
What about this guy? I gotta ask. I know a lot of folks back home.
Yes,
are probably curious about the Chaos Champion.
This is Obsidious. Obsidious went together very, very pretty basic. He's got he has his back of his torso and his cape is one piece. His arm is the back of his arm and is one piece with the hammer. So that's one piece. Then there's his front of his body and then his backpack. It's not that complicated.
Now I want to do,
and he looks great. The interesting thing about Obsidious is that compared to all of the other Chaos guys, so there's three. All of the heroes here in red, all the heroes are on kind of one big red sprue that's broken into three sub-sprues, but it's still, it came off the machine as one sprue, and all of the Chaos guys are on one giant super sprue, and you just get two of those sprues.
So all the Beastmen.
But Obsidious by himself, along with all of them, he is on his own little teeny tiny clam pack. Clam pack size sprue. I mean, he's completely separate. So I'm thinking
we're gonna get an Obsidious miniature.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Games Workshop has some plans for this guy because there's no other reason why they would split him and him only off and put him on his own little micro size sprue. And his sprue is clam pack size, so he's the same size as like all the characters.
So while we still have him out there, I want to do a size comparison real quick. I want to put a Primaris. Don't move him. Okay. I got a Primaris guy. We're gonna just stand him next to it.
Oh wow, he's big.
So you can see how much larger the Chaos Lord is. And again, the Chaos Lord's on a Terminator base. The Primaris obviously on a 32mm base. Mm-hmm. Now here's one of the Chaos Marines, also on a 32mm base. I'm going to move this guy over here.
Yeah, these are the new style Chaos Marines. Yeah. And pretty big. I mean, not quite as tall as a Primaris. Yeah. Actually, put the other guy there, because the other guy
has like a little headpiece. Right?
Has a helmet.
Yeah, so maybe that's a better
comparison. Almost. I mean,
they are very, very close. I'm sure. He looks bigger than a TAC Marine.
What we need to grab is we need to grab a actual Chaos Space Marine, just a plastic one.
We have them. Let me have one over there. Grab a plastic Chaos Marine.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, here is a plastic.
So you can kind of see just the differences between the size comparison. Obviously, the Chaos Lord's slightly bigger than the Primaris. Primaris is slightly bigger than the Chaos Marine. And it's interesting, too, with the Chaos Marines. They actually have the same body, but they have a different head option. So you can kind of swap out those. And they're kind of more like traditional when you build Chaos Marines. They're like the more traditional, different helmets and stuff like that. But for the most part, the bolters, all that stuff's all single piece, right, Larry?
Yes.
Okay, here's a Chaos Marine. Now this Chaos Marine is on a 32mm base. This was this one of the Heresy guys, right?
Yeah, that's one of the Heresy guys.
One of our Alpha Legion.
And you can see they're smaller. They're substantial.
Wait, no, he's not Alpha Legion. Sorry, he's Night Lord.
Yeah, you put him over there.
Yeah, but you can see. Give me back the You can see the size difference between.
Yeah. So the
Primaris, the standard Marine, essentially, because this is from the Horus Heresy. I think this one was either Calth or Prospero.
Yeah, but that's just like a typical. I mean, the Chaos
typical Marine.
The plastic Chaos Space Marines are that big.
Exactly.
And the new ones are substantially larger.
Yeah.
Just like we saw the Death Guard models when they redid the new plastic Death Guard models, they're dramatically larger and much more on scale. So I think this is a continuation. So whenever we get back to Chaos Space Marines, I think they're going to be this new size.
You know, it's funny too because I actually talked about this on our website. The Death Guard made sense that they were larger because they were big and bloated. Yeah, like Nurgle gifts, right? The fact that these Chaos Marines are a little bit larger than a regular Marine was at the time, like I'm wondering if we're going to see more lore repercussions for that. Right. Maybe Favas Biles up to something. Maybe traveling through the warp did something to him. I mean, it's chaos energy.
So let's take a look at the Chaos Psychers.
Yeah, the Psychers are up next. Let me move these guys out of the way.
So I think that these are hilarious, and I will tell you why. So you all will remember that there was a time where Malefic Lords ruled the meta of 8th edition, and everyone was using Malefic Lords. Yep. They were the basically rogue psychers of chaos. They were part of the Forge World Renegades list, and they were really overpowered and undercosted, and everyone was spamming them. And
it was like 35 points or something, like
yeah,
35 or 70.
And
they doubled them.
And they never had a model.
They never had a model.
They never had a model. So everyone was a... And then finally, one of those facts... on one of those facts, they basically just said Malefic Lords don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So
first they doubled the points, if I remember correctly. And then they're like, they don't.
No. So they got rid of them, and then now that they've gotten rid of Malefic Lords and they don't exist anymore, now we have Rogue Psychers. So now they have a miniature... And they're pretty good. These guys are.
I think the model. First off, the models look pretty crazy with their bloated heads. And
these are also super insane. These have that same. These two models in particular. These are the same model.
Yeah.
So they're the same model. Two of their these are 3-part models, and two of the parts are consistent. So like, there's the floaty part with all the chains holding them down, and there's their kind of cape. Their little tunic that they're wearing, and that's the same. And then you assemble those two first, and then there's a forward part, which is basically one huge part. So one of them has the weird guy's head and his arm that's holding the thing up, and then this arm pointed down, and then there's the version B that you put on that guy. So it's one of those crazy ones where you get two really different looking miniatures, but two of the parts are consistent.
Yeah. Do we have questions?
We have a question.
We do.
Okay.
Since we were talking about size comparison, do you think that because the Chaos models in this set are a little bit bigger, if we're going to get an equal to the Primaris Marines because of that size changed a little bit?
I don't know if we're going to get equal, guys. I think we are going to see the Chaos Marines go up to a 32 millimeter standard base size.
And get bigger.
I do think that model-wise they are going to get bulked out. We just don't know if that's what I was saying. I don't know if it's going to be a lore reason they're bigger. Maybe after 10,000 years and hanging out in the warp, they're just... mutated slightly.
I'm gonna go on the record.
You're gonna go on the record.
I'm gonna go on the record. I'm putting a marker out here. You guys can make fun of me later. Mm-hmm. I think that we are going to see Chaos Primaris. I think it's only a matter of time. They have put too many hints into the lore. They've talked about them being captured.
Can we talk about those real fast? Because some of the lore hints.
Yeah, so we know that Fabius Bile has They've specifically said Fabius Bile is keenly interested in the thing he wants more than anything in the world, and he's bartering with all the other Chaos Lords. He wants live specimens of Primaris Marines.
Yep.
And we know
because we already know too. We have the book right on the shelf. We already know too that one of his big genetic experiments has been to mutate and manipulate genetic code anyway. So he's already been working on his version of Primaris Marines.
So he wants to make
he wants
Primaris Marines, and I believe that in one of the more recent codexes, put a note. Put a thing that there have been cases of Primaris Marines being captured. We know that the Dark Eldar has captured Primaris Marines. So, I mean, you put two and two together. Fabius Bile is looking for him. It's his #1 priority. And we know that there have been times now when Primaris Marines have been captured. I think it's only a matter of time until we see Chaos Primaris. And from a lore point of view, that's the mechanism. Is you're going to say, Fabius Bile figured it out.
Yeah.
And now he's bartered to all the legions, and now they can make them.
And now they can inject them, and I mean it makes sense too. It's always been a funny side note too with Chaos. If you think about it, half the legions went bad 10,000 years ago, and how have they been maintaining their numbers? One of the big story excuses has always been, well, the warp is weird, so they might be fighting like the same force that died and came back because of the warp.
Well, they can make.
Chaos exactly.
They steal
genetic code.
They steal gene seed from chapters.
Yeah, so they've been raiding and doing stuff, but still maintaining that equipment for 10,000 years, and even if you're doing all the raiding and stuff like that, it's been a question of like how realistic can they keep up, and technologically, if Fabius Bile can create Primaris Marines, I don't know, it could be cool,
right?
But whatever happens. We do know that the Chaos Space Marine kit has been around for what?
It's old.
10, 15 years, 20 years?
Yeah.
It's probably legal to drink in Texas at this point.
Yep.
Point is, if Games Workshop wants to keep selling Chaos models, and I think they do, they're going to make new models eventually.
And the perfect excuse for them is, once again, the introduction of Primaris Marine gave their entire customer base a reason to go out and rebuy Marines, because everybody had Marine armies.
Everybody's had a Marine army.
And the introduction, you pretend to be Games Workshop. Do you say, let's just arbitrarily increase the size of the Chaos Marine models and let some people will buy them and some people won't? Or do we just say, hey, they've invented Primaris Marine, there's Primaris Marines and they're new units, and then we put out bigger models, and now everyone rebuys everything again because they're new. I would do that.
Yeah,
that's what
it makes sense.
I would choose that.
Speaking of new models, we have a bunch of them. Can we talk about Traitor Guard for a second?
Yes.
Because holy crap,
they are Traitor Guard.
There are Traitor Guard.
There's 12 of them in this box set. Once again, I think that it's only a matter of time until we see
more Traitor Guard.
Where's that sergeant? Put that sergeant up there.
Yeah, he is.
He's the guy throwing the grenade.
He's over there.
Oh, they're over there.
Okay.
Yeah. We got more.
We got more.
I just couldn't fit everything onto the table.
I got it. Yeah. So Traitor Guard. I love all these Traitor Guard. They are very clearly, these are not just cultists.
Right.
These
are Cadian. These are wearing Cadian style equipment.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they are
traitor, like they are guardsmen who have gone traitor.
They have gone bad.
Yeah. It's crazy to me too because
the models are great. You get 12 of them in the box set. It's two sets of 6. There's 6 per sprue, and you build each of them twice. And they have all kinds of crazy details that is fantastic. They really did a good job of fusing the Cadian aesthetic with the Chaos Space Marine aesthetic. Because they have the bands of chainmail and fur, and some of them have little totem racks. Yeah. But they're all still using their Imperial Guard equipment. Which is nice. They have the same helmets.
It's chaosified though, because they've got the spikes and they've got
they have like a few
knives.
Like you look at this guy, and he has his little Cadian shoulder pad, and stuff. It's just that he's put some spikes on it, but they're using Imperial style frag grenades,
right?
And it's all the same stuff. So this is fantastic. I almost certainly a hint that this. I mean, we have rules for them.
We have rules for them. They are servants of the abyss. Is their keyword or part of their faction keywords is Servant of the Abyss.
Yep, they're Traitor Guardsmen.
Yeah.
They have the same stats as Guardsmen.
They are just Guardsmen, but they're evil.
They are evil.
I mean, I'm the last time we saw a list with Traitor, like official Traitor Guardsmen, really was Lost in the Damned, and then we had the Siege of Rax.
Siege of Rax
also had some Traitor Guard.
Yep.
But like they've always been in the background fluff.
Right.
3-5 had them.
And Forge World is always kind of it's there, but it's not. So it's nice to see Traitor Guard with rules coming from the actual design studio.
Yeah, coming from Games Workshop Direct, not coming from Forge World. Which Forge World's fun and all, but like the fact that we have rules, that we have the fact that we have plastic models, the fact that it's coming direct from GW. Tells me, like, man, if they're showing us hints,
these are coming. I mean, they made 12 of these models.
There's a big flashing sign that says, "Hey guys."
Yeah, that says Traitor Guard, and we have rules for them, right? It's not just models for an arbitrary board game. These are models with 40k rules. Now they can only be used in a very small, limited capacity
for now.
But as we saw before, like remember there was the box set that first introduced the plastic cultists,
right?
Then they later made those plastic cultists available a la carte, and then they got added to the Chaos Space Marine Codex.
Yeah.
So what do you think the chances are that there's going to be Traitor Guardsmen, one way or another, are going to be part of a Codex in the future? Either they're either they're going to be part of Chaos Space Marines, and Chaos Space Marines will just grow to encompass more
chaos,
right? Like mortal followers of Chaos, or they're going to split it, and it's going to be part of another future Chaos Codex. That maybe is all of the non-Chaos Space Marines, which I think would be fantastic.
And just real quick too, I mean, again, rules wise, these guys are essentially just guardsmen. They same las cannon,
nothing crazy,
all that. So nothing crazy, nothing you haven't seen before. Now, for the Servants of the Abyss, they do have special rules, and I don't want to get into that right now. But the fact that these are just guardsmen, but chaos versions of the guardsmen, that just it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Regiments go evil all the time.
Yeah, this is one of the classic staples of Warhammer 40,000 is Rebel Guardsmen. It's super common, and yet we've never actually had rules or a book for them.
Yeah,
now we do.
So that's pretty exciting. The other faction that is super exciting is the Negavolt Cultists.
Okay,
which that is the Dark Mechanicus. We have those models as well. One right there.
That one.
I'll grab some more here.
There you go.
But the Negavolt Cultists represent another faction that we're both really excited about seeing. I'm sure the fans are really pumped about seeing. But like Dark Mechanicus, can we get some more Dark Mechanicus in the house, right?
Exactly. And once again, So I don't know what is going on. Like, I can't tell you this codex is going to come out or that codex is coming out, but something's going on. I'll put it to you this way, and that is to me, as a 40k play, Blackstone Fortress is a super good game, and we're going to talk about that too, in a few minutes. But from the point of view of 40k, there is some interesting stuff going on here, and it's clear that something's up because there's too many miniatures.
There's too many other factions in this game for GW not to be planning something.
Right, yeah, because this isn't like, I made like a car. It's not like they put some Dark Mechanicus cards, into a deck of encounters for some arbitrary game. They bothered to make the miniatures.
They made miniatures.
And if you're going to bother to make the miniatures, in general, over the past 20 years of watching how Games Workshop does this, when they make the miniatures, that means that they're up. That means that it's only a matter of time until those miniatures make their way into the game.
And while we're at it, we've got the Negative Ocultist again. Super pumped about those, but also Chaos Beastmen. Beastmen, not Zangors, but actual honest to God Beastmen.
Tilt those a little bit towards you.
Yep.
So they can actually see the faces.
Oh, they're a little
Yeah,
bit.
there's two different faces. So same thing. The Beastmen are also those weird kind of models. The way the cultists are, they use consistent parts, and you can kind of build them in different ways.
Yeah.
So there's two different faces that you can plug onto all of them, and you can build them. There's two sets of arms, like arms up, arms down,
right,
that are inverse.
But the fact, okay, so we've got new Chaos Marines. We've got Traitor Guard. We've got the Negative Occultists, which are Dark Mechanicus, and now we have Chaos Beastmen.
Right.
I mean, come on.
So again, something's up. So like
something's going on.
So think about how Chaos works right now in Warhammer 40,000. Right.
Yeah.
Chaos has Chaos Space Marines, which represent the legions, or the unaffiliated legions, and there's several of those books. Right. There's Chaos Space Marines, Thousand Suns, Death Guard. I'm sure eventually they'll
right.
And then you have demons.
Right.
Which is all of the otherworldly demons.
Right.
But what's missing is the rabble. There isn't like, what about all the people? It's like, if you want to be,
cultist or nothing. No, there's military,
and even cultists kind of
even
cultists. Let's be honest, cultists are just shoehorned into the Chaos Space Marine
they
Codex
are.
because there's no other place to put them.
Right.
So, because really they have no real reason to be. Cultists used to only exist. Back in third edition, cultists did exist, but they were only usable by the legions who specifically trained and operated cultists.
Alpha Legion.
It was Alpha Legion who made them, who used them as spies,
word bearers,
who just used them as zealots.
Yeah.
And the other people couldn't use them because they're like, we're not going to work with
We're
them.
Marines.
We're not going to work with
Chaos Marines, not Chaos.
Exactly. So from a fluff point of view, it's why would you put. If your codex is all about Chaos Space Marines, these are like elite badasses. Why would you then put cultists into it, but not Traitor Guardsmen?
Right.
Like, what's the rationale for that? And it's just that there wasn't enough enough other miniatures to do it. So it would not surprise me with all of the stuff
Codex
that we're seeing. Right. Yeah. And there's 101 things that you could name it, but it wouldn't surprise me if Games Workshop is now starting to seriously think about doing.
Just also, I think it's a smart move.
That third Chaos Codex, which is all of the mortal followers that aren't Space Marines.
It's a smart move to round out Chaos with more followers, just because if you look at the Imperial side and the Imperial keyword, there are so many factions.
The Imperium needs no more codexes.
Right, which is
that
why another Chaos Codex would actually be a welcome change, just to have some more.
Yeah, I mean, the Imperium has all the Chaos, all the Marine codexes. There's like 5, 6 maybe.
Astra Militarum.
It has Astra Militarum.
It has
Admech.
Admech,
It has Knights.
Knights.
I mean, there's and Custodes on top of it. And Sisters of Battle coming next year.
So
Chaos needs more stuff.
For sure. Do we have a question as well?
Yeah. Do y'all think that the Negative Cultists are a mirror for Electro Priests?
Yes.
Yes.
Almost certainly.
I want to see more. They are a dark mirror.
So
here's
my question for you. Excellent question, which is, open up your Adeptus Mechanicus Codex.
Yep.
And look at all the units in it. Now, pretend that you worked for Games Workshop and you wanted to make a Dark Mechanicus Codex, which is basically like, there's very strong similarities between, say, Craft World and Drakari, right? They're kind of mirrors of each other.
Right.
So if you wanted to make a Dark Mechanicus Codex, look at the AdMech Codex, and then think,
how can I chaos these guys?
Well, what units don't exist, right? Because Mechanicus has they have robots and big constructs and all that stuff, and Dark Mechanicus has all the demon engines because they make those. Right, and so they're gonna, the Mechanicus has like Onager Dune Walkers, and it has robots, and it has the Walkers, but with Dark Mechanicus you're gonna get
the Mauler Fiends.
You're gonna get Forge Fiends and Helldrakes and all those. So those models exist, but what you don't have is the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
So like Dark Mechanic and
the Skitarii Rangers. What are their equivalent?
Exactly. Yeah. So the actual. Like your actual infantry, your foot soldiers, right? That's what the Mechanicus has. The Mechanicus has Skitarii, and then they have all the weird,
Electro Priests
and the Electro Priests and all those guys, and that's what doesn't exist, right? There's no counterpart for those on the Dark Mechanicus side.
To be fair, too, the Magos could go either way. If you look
this
at
is true.
Magos,
just give them a new head.
Just give them a new head.
Totally can't tell.
Add a Robo Tentacle. They already have those anyway.
Right. There's already skulls all over them. Yeah. Not much. Just
maybe
change
a spike.
Just change the hat.
Yeah,
it's good enough.
Yeah, Chaos hat. Make a spike.
I agree. Top knot.
Top knot. Oh,
just
give him a top knot.
Inappropriate top knot.
Yeah.
Cyber top knot.
Cyber top knot, and you've got Chaos.
But Electro Priests Negavolt Cultists as a concept.
Yep.
That would be one of the handful of units that you could use to round out and be able to build a Dark Mechanicus
And
army.
clearly, Games Workshop has been working on them, so they probably got. I'm sure they have concept artists that were working on stuff. So I'm sure they've got more. Do we have? More
Are there
questions?
more questions?
Kind of a comment of, since we've got all this chaos stuff that's in here, and well, my brain's not working today.
You need coffee.
Yes.
More coffee.
But there was a rumor running around about the Return of the Lost and the Damned. Do you think that might be the third Chaos Codex?
It could be.
It could be. I don't know. Yeah.
It wasn't
a rumor.
It wasn't a
like,
rumor.
We've got the models
as
and
it's
rules.
just. It's just It's logic. It's logical supposition.
Yeah,
is what it is. It's an educated guess. Is there any actual formal rumor? Has anything come out of Games Workshop saying Lost in the Damned is in production? No, but we know that we know that Games Workshop has a long history now for several years of going back into the old days of the game, grabbing old armies and bringing them back and giving them codexes. They did it for Harlequins. They did it for Deathwatch. They did it for Genestealer Cult. Right? Lost in the Damned is one of the armies that used to exist that doesn't exist anymore. And boy,
these sure look like them.
Almost every unit that was part of that army list is in this box. Is like right here in front of us.
You think about it too. Lost in the Damned
like,
was Chaos Space Marine leading Traitor Guardsmen,
leading a bunch of rabble.
We have Chaos Space Marines
leading a bunch of rabble.
I mean, the connection's pretty clear.
Right.
It's logical supposition at this point. I wouldn't even say it's a rumor.
Right. Yeah.
We're not hearing rumors that it's going to come out. It's more like, well, they've already come out, so
right. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So very cool there. Going back, I want to talk a little bit about the heroes again.
Yeah.
So there are some. I'm going to pull these guys off, and we'll do a little bit of a zoom because there's a couple guys that I did want to show you because they're just really neat.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about three people who also I think are super cool. What we have is... It's okay, we're going to do magic. We'll move them.
Up.
We'll move them. We'll do it. All right. All right, here we go, guys. All right, so... First of all, this is like the first new Kroot that's come out in like 20 years. So...
No joke.
So, hey, Bok. You know, we have a Kroot mercenary.
We have a Kroot
mercenary. So Kroot. So yay! I'm so excited that there's Kroot. That there's a new Kroot miniature again. He looks super awesome. The miniature is done really well.
Yeah.
And he's a badass. He's a super bounty hunter guy. He's a Kroot. He's a
Kroot
bounty
tracker.
hunter.
Kroot merc.
Yeah. So hooray for him! All right, we're cool. Navigator. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if there's ever been a Navigator miniature. There's an Astropath.
I think there was one. There wasn't a miniature for it, but didn't Inquisitor at the 54mm scale?
So
had weird models, but we have never had a Navigator character like this.
Yeah.
In 40K, as far as I recall. Maybe back in Road Trader, but not even.
And this is Espern Lacaro, and he's interesting because he has a new keyword.
Yeah.
Which is Navigator.
Yeah, Navis Nobilite, and then also Navigator.
Correct, and his keyword is Navis Nobilite, so there's a whole potential... They could make other stuff for Navigators.
Yeah.
And he's cool, he's basically a Psyker. He's got his third eye, he can smite people, he can do cool stuff. So
he's a full-blown Psyker. Again, if you're going to be a Navigator in 40k, you kind of have to be a Psyker already. And Esperin is very powerful.
Yeah.
Is very powerful to be able to navigate a whole ship through the warp to begin with.
He also has, 40k, as we know, if to show that you're a badass in 40k, you must have an elaborate and exceptionally large hat. We know this because Nagash. All right.
It's true. Well, that's say more, but you're not wrong.
Clearly. And I have to say, they did a pretty damn good job of doing something different and new.
They went wide.
Because it's crazy, yeah. So Navigators hate narrow spaces. They have to turn sideways. It's like the Millennium Falcon. Yeah. You always have to turn sideways.
What's crazy, too, is there's actually... I don't know if you can tell at home there, but he's got an Aquila across the top of his hat.
He does. It's a big giant Aquila, which is really nice.
It's crazy looking.
And the front of his actual mask looks a whole lot like Star-Lord.
It looks like Star-Lord. I was going to say it looks like the Cybermen as well.
That too.
From Doctor Who. And if you know about the books, they've got the Doctor and Rose reading books now, so... I think GW's got some Doctor Who fans, some Whovians, if you will.
So a lot of these guys, we got the Rogue Trader, we have the Navigator. A lot of these guys, I think, are gonna are probably going to show up when they do their inevitable Agents of the Imperium codex that they do every edition at the very end when they run out of codexes to do. So we already have Astropaths and they put the Death Cult Assassins and all that weird stuff in there. So it's nice. I'm happy.
We saw those guys also in Rogue Trader, the Kill Team game.
Exactly. So I'm super excited that we're getting a new model. Actually, we now have two models for.
We now have two Rogue Trader models.
There hasn't been a new. And they did make Rogue Trader models. They were out there, but they haven't made them since first edition. So there hasn't been a Rogue Trader model in 30 years.
Yeah, and honestly,
so super cool. You got a male and a female one.
Drake does look rules wise is very similar to the Star Striders captain or Star Striders Rogue Trader. So it's very interesting rules wise. They even have like the same Archaeotech. The concealed Archaeotech weapon? Yep. They both have one of those. It's just interesting to see the parallels there.
Okay,
but can we talk about?
So now we're done. We're done with this useless rabble. Let's talk about the people who the person who actually matters.
The biggest secret in
one of
the biggest.
I want you to zoom in, Mars.
That's as far as I can.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can move him onto the game table.
No, it's good. Fine. All right, everyone, meet your new master. UR025.
Yep.
UR025 is confirmed from the background. He is a man of iron.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
This is a big deal.
This is a huge deal for all you Warhammer 40,000 guys. Also, his rules, not shabby.
Can we talk about real fast who the men of iron are? Because I think if we talk about that, then it'll make sense why this is such a big deal.
All right, so... when you go back and look, going back as far as the original Rogue Trader 30 years ago, they have a giant timeline of what happened in Warhammer, right? Warhammer 40,000. It's 40,000 years in the future.
So what happened to the other 30,000
years?
Right,
what happened to the other 38,000 years? Because I don't know what's going on, right? It came out in like 1988. So they talk about, all of the hard tech, the first 10,000 years mankind spreads throughout the Star Trek era. Everything is high tech and optimistic, and everything's good, and mankind spreads throughout the galaxy, and everything's full of wonder and whatever. It's awesome.
Discoveries,
right? And everything's great, and then mankind invents thinking machines.
We call it AI, but thinking
AI.
machines.
True AI, and these were called the Men of Iron. And then there's a giant robot revolt.
Which, shockingly enough, Terminator style.
Yep, Terminator style, and basically it tore the galaxy apart and almost destroys mankind.
And that takes us into the Dark Age, right?
And that's the Age of Strife.
Age of Strife.
So that is the whole Dark Age of technology, Age of Strife. It's called kind of rough in there, but basically that is the downfall of mankind. And everything falls apart, and the Men of Iron, at great cost, they destroyed planets, and they destroyed stars, and it was a huge, crazy, ugly thing, and eventually they were wiped out. The Men of Iron were wiped out.
The Emperor dictated orders.
With the help of, possibly with the help of other races.
Yeah.
It took more than mankind to finally wipe them out, and then basically they hunted them all around the galaxy and wiped them out.
By a decree of the Emperor, the
AIs are illegal.
AIs are illegal,
and that
artificial intelligence is illegal. That is why you see servitors. You see all of the machines in the Imperium have a human element.
Right.
They have a machine spirit. It's
Right.
not AI program.
Right.
It is
Right.
a machine spirit that
and it is biological in nature.
It is biological.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, so you can have intelligences like machine spirits and servitors, but they have to be based actually in something that is alive. You
Correct.
can't have true, and that is all
Not necessarily like a pumping heart alive, but
Right.
like intelligence wise,
Right.
It's got to have a
and
kind of a brain,
and thus 13 years later, all of the weirdness of the Mechanicus. That's why these are all like
13
myths. 13,000 years.
13,000, okay.
17,000
Yeah.
years later, because all of this happens in M23.
Yeah.
So basically, that's why they're servitors, and that's why they lobotomize criminals and make them, you're now a router, and your job is to use route network packets. You shouldn't have jaywalked, buddy.
Yeah.
So
Jaywalking in the Imperium crime, you become an Imperial router for
capital offense.
Capital offense.
Double parking.
Yeah.
Capital offense.
You don't want to know what happens to shoplifters.
So
yeah.
So bringing it back here, so that was in M23. So it's now M40, 17,000 years later, and we find out we have this guy UR025, and it is revealed that he tells people that he's an autonomous
servant robot
who's been sent by the mechanic. He basically pretends
I work for a Magos.
Right. He basically pretends to be like a dumb probe droid, but he's actually a man of iron, and he's alive, and he's fully sentient, and he just pretends to be a dumb robot for the rubes.
Yeah.
But he has a master agenda, and and he views the Blackstone Fortress as as basically a kindred spirit. So he views that this whole thing is also a giant super mega machine that's sentient, and he wants to commune with
in
it.
a lot of ways, it reminds me kind of like R2-D2 trying to interface with a Death Star.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, he's a sentient robot. He acts dumb. Maybe he beeps some a little bit, But R2-D2 interfaced with the Death Star at one point, and then BB-8 was born. So I don't know.
Weird stuff.
We don't know what's gonna happen.
Possibly compare him to K2SO. But...
Oh, exactly. That's another good point. Yeah.
He's just like, nope, I am dumb.
I'm a dumb robot. Don't mind me.
So he is already totally the most interesting, cool, rules-wise. So Man of Iron, right? That was one of the things. How tough were the men? I mean, obviously this is just,
This is a single robot that has survived. He's also got Imperial markings on him, so
I think
he's smart enough to weld it on.
I think he just picked that up from the truck stop, and he stuck it right on
Bondo,
there. Yep.
Super weld.
Yep.
Nope,
I'm Imperial.
See this Aquila? I'm a tough Imperial made robot.
All hail the Emperor.
Right.
Pretty good.
He's learned to blend in. It's been 17,000 years.
Yeah, and they say he lives his life way, way, way out on the outskirts of the Imperium. He's not gonna
try not to attract attention.
But this guy is cool. He's 17,000 years old.
Yeah,
and
he still works.
He was 7,000 years old when the heresy happened.
Yeah, pretty crazy thing.
How cool is that guy? We have strength 5, toughness 5, 4 wounds.
Yeah.
2 attacks, leadership 8, 3+ save. At the start of every turn, he regains a wound, so he self-heals.
Self-heals.
That's how you survive.
Those are by the way, these are the 40k rules.
Yeah.
On top of that, he's also got that Mark 1 assault cannon, which I think is really cool.
Yep.
It's the old.
It's the old assault cannon.
Old assault cannon. I think it predates the heresy.
It does, and strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage, and he has power fist. Yeah. So he's cool. He is my new favorite miniature, and I'm like whatever, Rogue Trader. This guy, I'm like, there better be Black Library. I mean, they write Black Library novels about everything.
There's a Black Library novel for Blackstone Fortress, and I'm sure it goes into more background.
This guy deserves his own series of novels. Think of the
adventures of
UR25, O25, from 17,000 years ago up to the present.
Just saying, if they can write 50+ novels about
it's
the Horus
Heresy.
Heresy.
Forrest Gump, but 17,000 years old.
Forrest Gump
is just going to be like him. He's going to be like every important.
I am a robot.
Every important event that's ever happened, he's going to be in the background, what's up?
I was there when the Emperor was killed.
It's gonna be one of those, like, if you go back and look at like the photo pics of all these.
Oh my god!
Always this one robot just like hanging out in the background. We don't know what the hell's going on.
Black and white photos. Yeah,
so good.
That'd be amazing.
So he's fantastic. Questions?
Yeah. Do we have any questions right now? Are there any other heroes that you find interesting? Because I know, like, obviously the Kroot Merc's cool.
He's the cool...
and nobody trusts the Kroot Merc, right? Because he's Kroot?
Right. But he's actually the most loyal and honest of them.
Why is that? Why is
there a question?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why is the Kroot Merc the most trustworthy guy?
Because, Kroot... basically, they have a whole honor code. That's like... the Kroot mercenaries in here are described as they're being very similar to the way mercenaries... worked in like in War Machine, like honoring your contract is like paramount to their whole like system.
You pay me to do the job.
Yeah, because if they ever like welch on a contract, basically no one will ever hire them again. Then they'll starve. Yeah. And their crew, they're like out there exploring the universe, finding new exciting things to eat to improve their DNA of their race. So it's very important that like all the Imperial people like don't trust them. They're like, these mercenaries are just going to turn on us all the time, and the Kroot are like, we would never turn on you.
We never turn.
So
if you hire a Kroot, you're good.
But
what about Rain and Rouse? Because those are the two. Those are the two rattling guys,
and they're just weird because it's a pair.
So
there's two of them.
In game, they function as in Blackstone Fortress they function as a single model choice.
But in 40k,
they're two separate rattling guys. They have basic rattling stats. I think Rain has the rifle, the sniper rifle, which works like a typical sniper rifle in 40k. So if you roll a 6+ to wound for the weapon, it inflicts some more wound on top of any additional damage. What I find interesting is that Rouse, if Rouse has line of sight in 40k, then you get to reroll failed hit and wound rolls if it's also visible to Rouse. So he's like the spotter.
Yeah.
And he's got that grappling hook, so he can ignore height issues, which is really cool. So he can get up really high.
Right.
Rouse can stay. Rouse can go high.
He's like a Reavers.
Right. He's like a little Reaver running around. Rain stays wherever, and as long as they both have line of sight to something, because you have to have line of sight to shoot.
Right.
But if Rouse can spot for him, then you reroll hit and wound rolls, which can be really good. Plus, another fact is they're both characters. So targeting them is going to be super hard.
Yep.
So if you want a little character, little flavorful characters running around,
can they target characters?
Because of the sniper rifle, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
So
you can shoot. Yeah. They can shoot your guys.
How effective is the sniper rifle? It's just a sniper rifle, so it's heavy 1. Strength 4, it's no AP damage 1.
It's good for killing like the little minor support
characters.
Right,
exactly. It's good for picking off a lieutenant, but you're not going to be sniping Gilliman with it.
Yeah, you're not.
I mean, you might get a shot in there, but you're not going to be taking him out.
You're not going to take out Abaddon or something.
No. But you're going to pick off
a little guys,
lieutenants or whatever. Yeah. The annoying guys. So,
which is cool.
But they're cool. But in Blackstone Fortress, background-wise, they're also pretty interesting because they are basically pure mercs.
Yep.
Like, they're the opposite in a lot of ways.
They showed up on the station with UR-25 on their ship. Like, that was the trio that showed up. They
all ride together.
And I'm like...
the Rattlings?
Again, hello, novel that writes itself. Two professional thieving Rattlings.
Yeah, and they're not... They have Imperial equipment
and
clearly some training, but they are not... entirely loyal to the Imperium.
No, not
because obviously they've done something to like leave.
They're loyal to their bank account.
Exactly. So these guys are straight up thieving brothers, and it's just they're scrappers and they are thieves, and
I love them.
They're fun, and they roll with the robot. So
love it.
Yeah, they are actually at the Blackstone Fortress purely for. The Archaeotech, they're here for the money.
Yeah.
They don't care who they screw over in the process.
Yeah.
As long as they get paid.
Yep. Yeah. I don't care about your revolution, princess.
Right.
I'm here for the money.
Yeah.
We've got a great deal of interest in chat for the Eldar Sniper.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Eldar Sniper. Are they curious about the rules for the sniper?
All right.
Everything.
All right. Yeah, there she is.
Amelin Stone Shadow Guide.
She is a Eldar Ranger. She is
Biltan.
She is a Ranger of Biltan.
Yeah.
And it is interesting because everyone has their own little reasons to be here. So first of all, from a rule point of view, she is a Ranger.
So she's got the sniper rifle, ranger long rifle, so she can snipe characters too.
She is a super character. She has 3 wounds.
Yep.
So it's a 3-wound ranger.
Yep.
And she has her super thing.
Still has Ancient Doom and Battle Focus like most Eldar have.
She has a 4-up invulnerable save and can move across models and terrain as if they were not there.
She has a special. It's called the Phase Crystal for her.
Right. So she can. Yeah. So she. So that is super cool. So you can put her in all kinds of weird places that are like. So as an example, you could put her in terrain that other people. She could, in theory, find a way to put herself somewhere to where she could not be easily charged.
Yeah. She also has appear unbidden, so she can basically set up on the battlefield from the webway. So deep strike 9 inches away from the enemy, so you can pop up on a building somewhere. And she also has Camline Cloaks, which will give her a 2-up to her save instead of a 1-up. Now she has a 5-up save normally, so if she's in cover, she can have a 3-up cover or armor save, or if you want to go straight up with a 4-up invuln, you can do that too. Just a really interesting character. She moves fast like an Eldar, so 7-inch standard move, and she's hitting with that rifle on a 2-up anyway. So just a really cool model.
Turn around so you can see the back of her.
Night Spinner.
Night Spear.
Night Spear. Is she as good? She's up there. I don't know. They're comparable. They're comparable. I think Illick's probably
he has a better gun, but she has better movement rules.
Yeah,
she's a little more squirrely.
Yeah.
So the reason
invuln's nice too.
She is from a background point of view, so you know that right.
Yep.
That right there. That is her ship.
Yeah.
So she shows up on the steed of I can't say that.
Mathanar,
and that is a really tiny ship. This is like a shuttle. This isn't like that's not a big huge giant. That's like a little one-man scout.
It's a scout ship, but it's got the Eldar Ether sail, and you can see the BLTN colors as well.
Yep. So she basically just is exploring the cosmos, and what I like about her is that Blackstone Fortress is carrying forward the narrative.
Yeah.
So as you all remember, during Rise of the Primarch, Book 2 was the Fracturing of Biltan.
Right.
Right. The Incarn appears, the Thousand Suns invade, Slaanesh and the Mask invade, and the craft world is really messed up.
Speaking of real fast, you did mention this that we are pushing the narrative forward. How far along timeline are we now? Like, was it 200 years?
It's 200 years.
It's 200 years after the events of Cadia Sunder.
Right, exactly. So,
which is another interesting point because the Chaos guys are from that battle,
which we'll talk about in just a second. So she, being Eldar and effectively immortal, her mission is to find anything that will help restore and heal Biltan.
Right.
So she's cruising around the galaxy and going through the webway in her super shuttle, being a badass with her phase crystal, trying to find artifacts that will restore the craft world.
Right.
And heal it. And she's been led to the Blackstone Fortress because, Blackstone Fortresses were made by the Eldar. So she believes that there is technology and ancient Eldar artifacts on the Blackstone that she can take back and fix the craft world.
And by the way,
that's why she's here.
This is actually the 7th Blackstone fortress that has been reported discovered. And on top of that, it wasn't just found in the interior. This is way off in the Segmentum Pacifica.
It's in a really weird spot.
To the galactic west of Terra and the Eye of Terror. It's way out.
It is well past Ultima Macaria, which was the outermost world that Macarius conquered.
Right. Macarian Crusade.
And this thing is way past that. So
way past that.
So this is like out on the basically they're like the Astronomicon is almost invisible.
Yeah.
There's no space lanes. It's really dangerous to be out there.
And for some reason this is a weird nexus point where thousands and thousands of ships that basically have been lost to the warp have been spat out essentially.
Right, and
this is kind of like
it's arguable
the end of the plumbing system for the warp.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's the Great Pacific Trash Pile.
It's the big plastic trash island.
But of ships. And the Blackstone Fortress apparently eats them slowly.
Yeah, it absorbs them, right? It
Yes.
absorbs the remnants of the ships, which is, again...
Also, it's alive, which is creepy, and it appears to... So, it's clearly doing something.
Yeah.
So the other interesting thing is, let's go back and talk about our Chaos Space Marine guys.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk a little bit, while I'm pulling them out here, about the stats of our good buddy here.
Yeah, he is a full-blown Chaos Lord, and he ended up on the ship... Obsidious Malix.
Obsidious Malix.
So he's a straight up Chaos Lord. So hitting on 2s with weapon skill, ballistic skill. He's strength 4, toughness 4 because he's still a Marine. But he does have 5 wounds, 4 attacks. He's got a 3-up save, so he's wearing power armor. But being a Chaos Lord, he does have the Sigil of Corruption. So he's got a 4-up invuln.
And what is that weapon he's using again?
He is actually wielding a Thunder Hammer.
Real one.
That is not a power maul or a power stave. That is a full-on Thunder Hammer with all the benefits and drawbacks for having a Thunder Hammer. So he does get -1 to hit with it because it's a Thunder Hammer, but it's double his strength, AP -3 and 3 damage flat. So it's pretty cool.
So he's the only way to get a real actual Thunder Hammer.
Does have the plasma pistol, which
with chaos.
You're probably never going to want to use because if you overcharge it, you'll kill yourself. But he is a Black Legion Marine, and he was actually at the Fall of Cadia.
Right. So talking again, merging, carrying forward the narrative that we've seen in Rise of the Primarch. It does feel like Blackstone Fortress is here kind of like as a little halfway house. It's starting to pull us toward. It's pulling the narrative forward, and I have a feeling that they're going to continue it next year once all the codexes are done, and we get to figure out what's next for Warhammer 40,000. So we're 200 years after the events of the Fall of Cadia. These guys, Obsidious and his warband, they were there. So they were in orbit in a battle in his ship.
Yeah.
When Abaddon ordered the last Blackstone Fortress to collide with Cadia, which destroyed it and is what cut Cadia in half.
Right.
And then when that event happened, they were thrown into the warp, and their ship was lost. And then while they were lost in the warp, they were grabbed by something. Is what they said. An unknown force grabbed them while they were drifting in the warp and pulled them out. And when they reappeared in real space, their ship was halfway merged with the Blackstone Fortress.
Right. So it seems like the Blackstone Fortress actually grabbed their ship,
right, and
pulled it into it, and started to merge.
Right.
The chaos stuff.
And then the Blackstone Fortress is kind of always ever shifting. So it basically, as it was shifting, it just consumed and crushed their ship.
Right.
And they fled and evacuated onto it. So it's 200 years later.
It's kind of like that movie, The Cube, or the Hypercube, or that whole series where like the rooms are constantly shifting.
It's like that.
But
weird.
But weird and Blackstone Fortressy and stuff like that.
So basically, they fled, but these are actual witnesses and survivors of the destruction of Cadia, and now they're trapped on this Blackstone Fortress. So at first they tried to escape, and then Obsidious Malix realizes, hey, wait a minute.
This is a Blackstone Fortress.
This is a Blackstone Fortress. Abaddon figured out a way to turn 6 of these things on and make them follow his orders, and I'm a Chaos Lord, and I'm going to do this.
I can do that too.
I can do that too. So the reason he's here is basically he and his warband now are defending it instead of trying to escape it, and they're trying to take it over because his goal is he wants to take it over before he figures it's only a matter of time before rumors and word reach Abaddon that the thing exists and that he's going to come and take it for himself. So he wants to take it over.
So he wants
before
to be,
then,
like any good Chaos Lord,
like any good double dealing untrustworthy Chaos Lord, he's got to take it over first before the boss comes and takes it from him.
We had a question?
Yeah, can we roll back to the Eldar for a second?
Yep.
There was a little bit of confusion about the lore.
Sure.
Yes. We got her back.
So, got a comment saying, I thought that the fortresses were old tech. Did the Eldar make them?
Yes.
They are, sort of. Well, they did before...
Correct. The Blackstone Fortresses were developed by the Eldar and the Old Ones during the War in Heaven to destroy
Talismans of Vol.
To destroy the Catan. So they're ancient. And then, so this is,
they're not entirely Eldar tech, I think is what the confusion is.
Right.
They are Old One and Eldar tech. Again, the Old Ones made the Eldar.
Right. Way back.
Way back.
Like when they made the orcs. This is all like galactic ancient history. Basically, this is before the Necrons went into hiding.
Right.
So more than 20 million years ago.
Right. So way back.
Yeah,
so they're beyond ancient.
Yeah. So obviously the big bad, the generals of the Necron army were the Catan back then, when they were still completely unrestrained and crazy and eating stars. And the old ones and the Eldar worked together to build Blackstone Fortresses
and the Way Portal and all
to destroy the Catan specifically. Right. And then after the War in Heaven ended, they were just set adrift in space. And various races discovered them, and even the Eldar had forgotten. 20 million years later, they'd forgotten that it was their ancestors who made them.
So they're not entirely Eldar, but they are essentially Eldar sort of.
Yeah. So if you take a look at this, if you take a look, also, I guess it's not.
Which is why the ranger wants the.
Can you grab a spindle drone for us?
The tech from it. Yeah, I got it.
We're gonna grab a spindle drone. So those little spindle drones.
Oh, there's one right there.
Yeah. I tried to pull at least one of everything.
Yeah.
So the spindle drones, these little guys, which are super cool looking miniatures, and if you look at the spindle drones, you'll notice they don't really look like anything.
I just want to put this out there too.
They don't really have they don't. Yeah, the spindle drones don't look like their Craft World technology, and they don't look like their Drakari technology, but they look kind of Eldar-ish.
They do. They have an elegance and a grace to them that,
but they're just
says
kind
of Eldar, but they don't have the.
But they don't like specifically match, which is neat. So these which makes sense. So these spindle drones are defense mechanisms. They're basically white blood cells
within the Blackstone
of the Blackstone Fortress. Yeah. They're part of it. It creates them. So when you're wandering around inside it, spindle drones eventually appear, and you have to fight them and kill them.
Which is another reason it's interesting that the Urgle's there.
Yeah, and when you kill them, they go inert. Mm-hmm. And there's no known way to get them off the fortress, and eventually the fortress consumes them and makes more.
Reabsorbs them.
Yeah,
that's another reason why it's interesting that the Urgles are there, because that's kind of a nod to the Dark Eldar. Right. Because the Urgles are creatures that the Dark Eldar use in their armies
as pets,
and as beasts that they send into battle. But on top of that, they're in the Blackstone Fortress. Strangely enough, they are not associated with the Chaos Warband.
Yeah,
but they are just dwellers within the labyrinth.
Yeah, and the book points out that Urgles are natural predators of the webway. So that's where they normally live. So they live in the webway. They're just one of the dangers of the webway.
Yeah.
That's why they're blind, and they hunt all by scent,
sight and sound.
Yeah. By other things. So the Blackstone Fortress is infested with them, and nobody knows how they got there. So,
right, which is another nod. If they're predators from the webway, that means there's some Eldar connection there as well.
Right. So it's possible that there's webway nodes within the Blackstone that Blackstone fortresses are actually part of the webway.
Yeah. Again,
so who knows?
Talismans of Vol, and there's a lot of back history connecting them to the Eldar.
So this isn't just a board game. It does. So first of all, we get all the 40K parts of it, which is awesome. But they've really put a lot of work into the narrative and advancing the narrative, and all of these people have interesting agendas. And I think it's a not a particularly big jump that all of this stuff is going to. I mean, this Blackstone Fortress may end up being a big part of 40K like next year.
Yeah,
this is probably going to be part of the ongoing plot. Something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen with the Blackstone Fortress. Whatever direction Games Workshop goes with this. I mean, there is the novelization that came out with it as well. They're planning something big. Again, the hints. Can we go to the overhead or go to the other cam? The hints are there from all of the different factions, all the different models that are released in this board game. The hints are there with all of the heroes that are showing up as well, all the explorers. On top of that, this game, it says even in the rulebook that there will be future expansions that you can play around in. So we know that Games Workshop's planning to release more stuff for Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress.
I think so. I think it's going to follow the same type of release model that we saw with Silver Tower, where they did add-ons with more characters and more rules.
I hope so.
So I'm super excited about that. So we have talked for an hour. We're going to go into overtime because this is so special for just a few minutes, because we've talked about everything about the 40K and the fluff and the units and all the 40K stuff. I want you to talk about what this game actually is as a legacy game.
Yeah.
Because Games Workshop has really not emphasized this at all. This game is totally different and unique, and they've never made anything like this.
Right.
Go.
So,
Mr. Board Game.
This is a board game, but on top of that, modular board game, all that fun stuff. This is a legacy game. So I wanted to find that real quick, because there's people that may not know what legacy games are. So legacy games are games that as you play them, they change physically. Typically, games like there's Legacy Risk, where you're actually physically tearing chunks of the board off. There's Pandemic Legacy, where one playthrough is not the whole game. That playthrough determines what happens in the next one. And that usually involves opening specific envelopes, depending on you win or lose, and destroying or trashing the other ones if you fail an objective or whatever. So these are big, completely game-changing things. Right. Within this game, there is an envelope that is a one-use only thing, and I'm not going to get into it, but it's when you complete the whole campaign,
Sure.
Your first playthrough, you're going to open the envelope.
And you're going to get something.
You're going to get something that is different. We have checked with multiple people. Our envelope was different than other people's envelopes.
So we don't know how many different contents of those envelopes
Correct.
there may be out there, but it's more
There's
than
at
one.
least 2.
So what that means is Games Workshop is shipping a game
Yes.
that actually has different content.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah.
They, as far as I know, they've never done that before.
As far as I know, they have not done that before. That means my personal experience with Blackstone Fortress may be very, very different from your gameplay experience. They encourage you, as you are playing, to use the same explorer in a group or party. Have the same person play the same explorer. If you've played Gloomhaven, this reminded me of how Gloomhaven does it, where like each person gets a character,
right,
and it's kind of a drop-in, drop-out mechanic. The whole goal is to explore 4 different strongholds. Those strongholds will then give you clues for that explorer to be able to go to the vault and then open up the vault secret.
Right.
But as a legacy game, once you do that, you're like, well, what do we do now? Well, you can keep playing because you're supposed to keep track of your inventory, so the items you're getting, the different Archaeotech.
Right, all your
and there's a deck of Archaeotech cards.
And you get a little pack of little Blackstone Fortress themed, basically Ziploc bags.
Yeah.
So that when you are done, when you finish a game, all the characters go into those things and you zip them up. And when you start playing again, you pull the party back out.
Yeah.
So this is not.
Or you can pull a different party. You can pull I'm going to take that one guy I was playing with 4, but I'm playing with 3 different buddies. There's 8 explorers, 9 if you count Rain and Rouse as 2, whatever.
Sure.
But there's 8 explorers, and you're only supposed to play 4 explorers at a time. So you can drop in, drop out with multiple parties, multiple campaigns.
Yep.
And basically, the first player to complete all 4 strongholds and go to the vault, the 5th thing, and complete that step
gets the card.
So
it's super cool.
It's super cool. It's really, really interesting. It's again, the one card is the legacy part of this game, but it's a first step towards
this type of play style. That Games Workshop has never done before.
And that's going to mean.
Do you have a question?
That's going to mean when they complete the campaign with that character and more modulars or more expansions come out, you can take that same character and keep going.
I have no doubt that every expansion is probably going to have more of those.
I would not be surprised. Yeah.
What do we got?
Banana Mandrew would like to know on a scale.
Banana Mandrew!
What's up, man?
You're back!
On a scale of Dreadfleet to Space Hulk, how would you rate this game?
Space Hulk.
Space Hulk. It's way towards the Space Hulk side. It's really good. It's really good. I am completely intrigued because because
it is not a Dreadfleet, man.
This is totally different than even Silver Tower and those where you get the party together and you play and then you're done, right? Yeah. This game, to be able to unlock that card, basically you're playing a campaign. So some of these books are like here's the rules of how you actually play the game. Here's the rule. Here's the.
Yeah, I just want to show this off real fast.
Here's the book.
You start with the rules. This just tells you how to set up the first game
and define the mission.
And define the first mission and explain how to play. Once you are playing this game, you're going to run into a combat because it's part of the game from the exploration deck. Then you're going to pull out this book, which is the combat book, and this is going to walk you through how to do that first combat and everything like that.
And this is all the rules for the actual combat part of the game. So you're going to use that over and over
So
again.
once you finish the combat, you're going to go back to here, and then once you finish the mission, you're going to go to Precipice. And
so
Precipice is the end game stuff. Now, I want to note something real fast, too, about the Precipice book. This book is actually thicker than the rule book because this book has the other missions.
Right. So this is the whole concept of you go back and some of your characters are going to heal or maybe they died and you have to figure out what you're going to do with all your loot and then you're going to roll because there's a legacy deck.
Yeah.
So how does your campaign
There's
evolve?
also different events that can happen.
And then that sets up your second mission.
These 3 books lay out how the game flow is supposed to go.
Correct.
And they are intentionally separated so that you do not spoil it. So if you want to have the most pure, most Blackstone Fortress experience possible, you should follow the book steps and do not read ahead.
And don't read ahead.
If you want to spoil it for yourself, hey, that's on you. But if you want to have the experience as it's meant to be played, follow the book steps precisely, and you will have what the game designers envisioned as the Blackstone experience. Blackstone Fortress experience.
Yeah. And to finish a set, it's probably a minimum of 5 or 6 games. It takes you to go through all of it before you eventually win, and you can run out of time. Like if you keep failing missions, because the Blackstone Fortress is trying to kill you.
Oh, and there's another deck that is
you can
the whole overall timer too.
Yeah, you can lose and be like you ran out of time, and the Blackstone Fortress ate everyone, and reset, rack them up again, and start.
And
over.
If you're curious as to how long a typical session is going to take, you're looking. The box says 2 to 3 hours per session.
Sure.
And you're looking at a minimum of 5 sessions.
Right.
So this game has about 15 hours of playtime built in for 1 to 5 players, because you can play solo.
Right.
If you have a 5th player, that the 4 explorers, the other 5th player can play as the bad guys in the dungeon. And I promise you, if you were playing with a person and not the AI deck, it's going to be way harder.
Oh yeah.
Because that person will be sneaky and
be mean.
And be mean versus the AI deck was, hey man, that's just what the deck does. Sorry, I punched your dude.
You're going to be like, I hate Obsidian Malix. He kills half the party every time I meet him.
I'm targeting that one character that I know.
Who I know is almost dead.
Yeah, I'm going to kill that guy. So if you want the hardcore mode, play with your friend that's that guy that just will pick on you and kill you. But
play with your dungeon master. Let it, because it'll be there. This is your dungeon master's chance to just get vengeance on all you guys for all.
And
because his job is to be mean.
Yeah. So this box, I think, has a lot of playtime value in it. The replayability is there, and then just again the future of what GW can do with this game.
Yeah. There will be expansions. It specifically says in the books that there are expansions coming.
Matter of fact, I want to show everyone.
So I totally expect all kinds of cool stuff.
Let me find. It says further adventures. Matter of fact, Mars, can we zoom in real quick? I will show this off. All right. It says right there, further quests. And I know but you can read that real fast. Further quests for this explorers to undertake can be found in expansions for Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress. The new quests allow the players to find out more about the secrets that lie inside the Blackstone Fortress. So
there's more stuff.
There's more stuff coming. We can go back up top, but that it doesn't get. It's in right there in front of you. It's coming. More expansions are coming for this game, and there will be more secrets to unlock. So I don't know if you can tell. I'm a little excited.
All right.
Could just be the coffee.
Well, pretty much, that's going to pretty much wrap it up. You guys have some last questions for us? Let us know. How we doing?
Any other questions before we call it? We are in overtime, so we really do.
We are in overtime.
But the miniatures are great. The gameplay
is really interesting,
different and interesting, and the legacy aspect of the game is just hasn't been done by GW before. In this manner.
I'm excited about it. I think it is yet again. They're moving out in different directions, right?
They're putting the game back in Games Workshop. Right, they're trying new games.
They're actually and it's not just they're not just making more games that kind of fit in their general kind of in the the Games Workshop product genome. They're looking at what is big in the industry. And saying like, oh, these types
Legacy
of games
are cool. Let's try one of those.
We should make So which they're actually actively paying attention to what's going on in analog gaming. And making and moving out into different products.
It also helps that all these models have rules for 40K too, and you can slot them right in your existing armies, and that's fun too.
I'm playing
the Eldar one.
No, I'm playing the robot. I'm playing the robot every time.
You mean in the game?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you meant on the 40K too. Both. Yeah.
Like Bender. I'm going to play him like Bender every time.
Bender Rodriguez.
It's going to be great.
Make with the stab in red. That's all.
So everyone, we had a great time. What's going on? Goat Boy is going to be painting Up a Storm along with the Veteran Sergeant on Wednesday. So tune in to our Twitch channel for that. Just for all you guys, we're definitely back. So we got and then on Thursday we're back with we have a Age of Sigmar game.
Ooh,
coming this Thursday.
We have some new players, right?
We do. We have a whole new Age of Sigmar team. So we're going to be so come in on Wednesday and enjoy hanging out with the goat. He's going to be painting. I don't know what he's painting up, but it's something crazy every time.
Are we going to do the special thing tomorrow? Was that a possibility?
We're going to see.
So there
is a chance we may do another one of these shows tomorrow for Dungeons and Dragons, specifically for Ravnica and Dungeon of the Mad Mage, but we're not quite sure. We got to get those books.
Let us know in the comments if you want to know more about that one, because that'll probably be me and JR talking D&D. So
Yep.
pretty pumped about that one too. But
So we got a whole week of cool stuff, so just keep your little Twitch alerts up. Subscribe to us if you're new and like what you saw. We're here basically 3 or 4 times a week on Twitch for you guys, and check out the website.
One last piece of news that I'm
What do you got?
personally excited about.
What do you have?
Adeptus Titanicus.
Oh my god, yes.
We are getting more stuff.
We're going to jam that in at the very end. New Warlord Titan with more weapons and the Night Lancer. And the Night Lancer.
Cestus Knights? Yes. More Knights. People were really wondering what GW is going to be doing with Adeptus Titanicus. Are they going to keep supporting it?
More
Answer is
stuff.
yes. More stuff's on the way.
More stuff.
I'm pretty pumped. I've got my 2 Warlords built. I've got my Warhounds put together. I'm magnetizing everything.
Woo-hoo.
I've got the Reavers on deck for the hobby board. Yeah, we're gonna be playing. We're gonna be playing some Adeptus.
We're going to be playing
Titanicus.
some of that. Not this Thursday.
Thursday.
Adeptus Titanicus is going to be played for you guys.
Yeah.
So.
Can't wait.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We will catch you maybe tomorrow. Definitely on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yep. See you next time, guys.
Have a good one.
Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.